Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Welcome back. Well, just one more quick look at the markets. We will get our technical experts in just a bit. But for the moment, as Anuj pointed out, you really don't have to worry about the small gyrations. The upper hand is probably still with the bulls if you go by the advanced declines as well as the quick manner in which the dips were bought. So very difficult to call the trend of the market at this point in time. The mid caps quite clearly have held on to most of their gains, up about 0.5%. Among the big gainers yesterday was Jyothi Labs. We know Jyothi Labs more as the maker of Ujala and the famous ad Char Bundo Wala. Now that company is looking at riding the Ayurveda wave. This is a CNBC TV18 exclusive. Priya Seth, our colleague, reported that the company is planning a new series of launches in the Ayurveda space, which could lead the company to more than doubling its revenues from the personal care space by 2021. MP Ramachandran, Chairman and Managing Director of Jyothy Laboratories, joins us now. Good morning, Mr. Ramachandran. Thank you very much for joining us. Is it true you're venturing into Ayurvedic products? Which ones?
Yes, good morning to you. That we are completely geared up for the launch of Ayurvedic products, many personal care products, maybe by 2021, 22, around that period, on opportune time. Okay. So that complete work is going on. This year, for the time being, we have so many other, 2 more products to be launched, this 18, 19. So after that one, we will be getting into the Ayurveda space.
Okay. Mr. Ramachandran, good morning.
And mostly about the personal care. Yeah. Good morning.
So what kind of numbers are you targeting in this space?
In this space, in about 2 to 3 years' time, approximately about 400 to 500 crore, we are planning.
You said you will
and
start.
The range will be good range.
Sorry. Go ahead, sir.
No, this year we are this 18, 19. We have 2 more products to be launched. That is on the in the home care products. After that one, by the time that our products will be ready for launch in the Ayurvedic sector also, as far as personal care and beauty care is concerned.
Okay.
So that we are getting ready and we are making all the preliminary preparations for that one.
Okay. Mr. Ramachandran, did I get you right? The product that you are launching...
A great stride for the organization, yes.
The product that you are launching in 18-19 is not an Ayurveda product. The Ayurveda product comes...
The product... it is in 2021, yes.
Okay, it comes... You are going to start launching only in 2021?
So now... 2021, it will be full-fledged launching.
Okay.
As on today, there are 2 products which are planned for the 18-19. After that one, our next care will be of Ayurvedic products. All
right. Can you tell us what product you are launching now in 18-19? Which space is it? Is it personal care? Is it insecticides? Which area?
No, it is in the... It is in the home care products. Now that Swachh Bharat is going on every major stride, a lot of the toilet cleaning is necessary. A lot of products are there in the toilet cleaning area, but we are getting into a little more differentiated product, which are not based on hydrochloric acid, but completely on natural. Products. Okay. And we have already done that one. Trial launch has been done in Kerala. Now it is likely to be in India, all over India.
What about your existing portfolio? How's that doing and what kind of growth do you see in that?
Which portfolio? The existing ones.
Yeah, existing ones.
Existing ones are doing very good. Now this quarter is doing very good demand. Yeah.
Okay. Can you give us some idea of the volume growth that we can see in FY18 now that the year is almost ended?
FY18 volume will be around between 12 to 15% volume growth will be there. And similarly that growth on value also it is likely to be around 15%
Okay.
plus, 15% plus.
Okay. So there are no price increases that you have taken or will take anytime soon?
Price increases has not been, in fact, we have slashed the prices on some of the items to give effect to the GST impact of that one. We have passed on that benefit to the consumer and it is doing very well.
Okay.
And still margin is, we have kept it perfectly okay.
Can you give us a little more color on what kind of personal care products you are going to launch under the Ayurveda rubric? Would they be toothpastes? Would they be face creams, face wash, soaps? What are you launching?
Yes, toothpaste. Toothpaste. It comes into the oral care. That of course the work is going on. We have already a brand which is 100-year-old, which is taken over a while through Henkel acquisition, and that is Neem. It is doing promising growth. Slightly growth is there, but now we are likely to get into that also in a large way, and also other beauty products also in Ayurvedic matter.
Okay. So they would be face washes or would they be hair care?
Hair care also is in our this thing. Hair care, not hair wash.
Okay.
But something to do with the growth of the hair and the health of the hair.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Ramachandran, thanks a lot for your time today. That's Jyothi Labs. The stock's doing well, actually. 2.5% higher is what we have at this point in time. The Sensex is down about 7 points right now, 33,771. The Nifty up 3 points. And the mid-cap index off the high point of the day, but still outperforming. In terms of stocks that are doing well, we have, of course, the mid-cap pharma doing well now. Cadila Healthcare, of course, that's a large-cap stock. Divi's has joined in the list. Granules as well. So a lot of these stocks. Biocon has made a new high in today's trade. So that stock, or almost a new high, 545. I think the previous high was 549 on Biocon. So it's almost headed there. Mitesh Thakkar and Rajat Bose with us now. Mitesh, so the first hour has been about consolidation. Is the long trade opening up? We are holding yesterday's low, or would you want to see some more evidence before taking a long trade, or are you taking a short instead?
I think, contemplating a short trade, Anuj, I spoke about this, that if the bank nifty doesn't see follow-up and starts breaking below yesterday's low, I think we'll take a short trade over there. So I think we're on the verge of possibly initiating that, because that's the index which is not participating. And given the fact that the Nifty also has some kind of psychological level at 10,500, that's also the strike where the call build-up is the highest. I think you might see a couple of days of consolidation and churn before we again start to move up again. So in that sense, I think if the bank Nifty breaks further low, I think we'll take a short there. But for the time being, on stock-specific basis, I have two buy calls. Cummins India appears to have reversed yesterday and is seeing follow-through today. So buy with a stop at 870, look for 910 as your target, and ONGC remains in a buy mode. Buy with a stop at 185 for targets of 199.
Incidentally, RCOM is persisting with the rise. It's up 3% after yesterday's huge rally. And among other stocks that are doing well, Bombay Dyeing as well, doing well today. Manappuram is the one I wanted some opinion on, Mitesh. That stock is up 4%. Is there a strategy there?
Yeah, Lata, in fact, I do like the stock a lot, and I did consider giving a buy call right now as well. I think the stock is just on the verge of breaking above the earlier highs of 110 and entering into a fresh high. I think once that happens and we get a closing today possibly around these levels, then I think the stock should be in for some kind of a stronger upside, and we would look at targets close to about 125 over here.
Okay, Prakash Kaba is also with us in our studios. Prakash, so your thoughts on how the trade has panned out so far and your stock call?
So far looks like a more sluggish, Anuj. Possible target on the downside is around 10,400, 410 zones. That's the place I think Nifty could slide out there. Will it find support there? Possible, it could find support there. And Bank Nifty so far is also looking weak. We could see a slide to maybe around 25,425, 25,450 zones. However, I like to go long on stocks, both pharma pack, basically that looks show some traction in the last couple of days. I think Divi's Lab is looking good. We can see a move right until maybe around 1200 zones, may take a couple of days for that. The first target would be around 1120 zones. Stop below 1050 on TV should be fine. Sun Pharma also is showing some good traction out here. Sun Pharma can climb to levels closer to around 550 zones, stop below 530.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prakash, for that. Rajat Bose has also joined us. Good morning, Rajat. Good to have you with us. What are you trading now?
Good morning, Lata. I'm trading 3 stocks, all are long calls. To start with, Cadila, I would put a stop loss below 424, 440, 445 and 448. This is actually a short-term target. The second stock is also a short-term delivery or in FNO, that is TV18 broadcast. I would put a stop loss below 57.50 and my target is 66, playing for 10% kind of a gain out here. The chart looks very good. In fact, it could be a medium-term delivery as well. And finally, ILFS Transport, I will put a stop loss below 76.40, targets 80 and 82. Disclosure has it that I have ILFS Transport in my own portfolio.
Okay, Mitesh, yesterday your big call of the day was Reliance Capital. That stock, of course, did well. Today, on ADAG, is there any strategy?
Yeah, so I do still, like these stocks. I think what has happened is that with the big price movement which happened yesterday, maybe a day of pullback is in order. But I still believe that, and I've been tracking mostly Reliance Capital and Reliance Infra. I believe that there's some kind of bottom which has been made for at least Reliance Capital. Once we get a closing above yesterday's closing, which is 455, then I think we are in for a stock to rally and get into a short to medium term uptrend with targets in excess of 500. So maybe now is a good time to start accumulating slowly, add aggressively once we get a closing above 455 and look for 500 plus kind of targets.
Okay. Well, that's the word coming in on some of the stocks at 10 a.m. And now we are seeing the first signs of deeper red on the Bank Nifty. Mitesh's yesterday's low was that 10,560. That has been taken now. And we are at, 25,560 has gone. And now we are below the 25,550 mark. So it's Bank Nifty which is showing more weakness. And to some extent that has pulled down the Nifty as well. Though the Nifty has trouble from a few other stocks as well. But banks are clearly the ones. ICICI Bank, Axis, SBI, IndusInd, Kotak, yes, all of them are between 1/3% and about 1% lower. So clearly the more troublesome parts are the banking stocks today. 1/4% down now on that index. And actually some of the trouble will obviously come from the bond markets. That's gone up to 7.25. Crude higher. The MPC MPC clearly struck a hawkish note.
Okay, so that could be the reason. Even the mid-caps have started to recede a bit, but at the advanced decline level, they're still holding firmly in favor of the advances. About 2:1 is what we have as far as the advanced decline is concerned. But let's get back to that big story. The special 2G court in Delhi will be delivering its verdict, in a matter of next 15 or 20 minutes. Ronojoy Banerjee now joins us from outside the court. Ron, so all have the key players arrived over there?
Well, yes, some of the key accused have arrived, Anuj. In fact, as expected, the mood out here is a high-octane mood. Just a short while back, A. Raja, one of the principal accused, the key accused, the former telecom minister, he arrived, and he came in with a whole host of supporters. Soon thereafter, Kanimuri arrived along with her mother. Now, as I said, a whole host of supporters came in. We've been speaking to some of the supporters of A. Raja, of Kanimuri, and they believe that A. Raja is innocent, and today is the day when the court will deliver justice. They agree with the three principal arguments A. Raja has made, that as telecom minister, he's responsible for increasing the tele density in the market, for bringing down the overall tariffs, and every decision that was taken was backed by the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh led a cabinet. So he believes that the court will deliver justice today. Apart from him, Shahid Kumar also entered. He, remember, is from the Kalyangar TV. He's one of the 17 accused in this case. He came in. Kanimuri, remember, her argument so far has been that by the time these allegations surfaced, she said that she had ceased to be a director on the board of Kalyangar TV, so therefore there cannot be any kind of quid pro quo established as far as Kanimuri is concerned. So we need to, of course, wait and watch what the court decides. The verdict, we understand, will be delivered at 10:30. O.P. Saini is the court. He is the special judge in the CBI court. 10:30 is when the verdict will be read out. Expect a long verdict here, Anuj, because this is a case that has taken the CBI court over 6 years, and what many are asking, the question many are asking over here, and a whole host of journalists here, who have expectedly arrived, is that the verdict may not have much of an impact on the telecom industry, because the impact we've already felt in terms of auctioning of spectrum. The bigger fallout is going to be expectedly the political fallout, especially with the winter session in the parliament. So expect the verdict being read out by the special judge O.P. Saini in about half an hour from now.
Oh, yes, you have a lot to do out there, Ron. Thank you very much.
Well, the equity markets are trading a bit flat, but what about commodity markets? Here's Manisha with a roundup of how the markets have opened. Manisha, good morning again.
Morning, Anush. Thank you for that. Well, the weakness in US dollar is the major theme playing out for many of these commodities. For the crude oil prices, apart from the weakness in US dollar, it also is about decline in US inventories for a fifth straight week. So now the US inventories stand at the lowest since October 2015. But then you have seen a surge in exports from US. The refining capacity has been on the higher side, and that is what the markets really are reading in. Apart from that, an important information that is also coming in for crude is that 96 million barrels per day of crude that is traded in the global markets is all done in US dollars. Only 4 lakh barrels, which is negligible really in front of 96 million, is done in non-dollar form. So with China really launching a yuan-based crude contract is something that the markets would also want to watch out for by Jan 2018. So that's yet another thing to keep an eye on. The weakness in US dollar clearly has had its impact on the gold and silver prices, which are trading in the positive in the global markets, and the Indian markets as well have opened on a higher note. We actually are trading at a 2-week highs when it comes to gold and silver, both those commodities in the global markets. The base metal prices in the meanwhile also have seen some fresh buying coming in on the lower side, especially for metals like copper and zinc. These couple of metals are seen as the ones with the best of fundamentals as we get into the new year as well. And then, of course, you have the robust economic growth in the global markets. The China data has been positive, and there also are some mine supply concerns coming in as we get into the new year, and that would continue to support this space. Buying calls is what we have from the trading strategies and sense of brokerages as well. Kedia Commodities advises a buy in case of crude oil prices. They're looking at targets of 3,750 on the higher side in the intraday market. In the metal space, their best pick today is in case of copper, where they see prices of 459 on the higher side in the day today.
Okay, Manisha, thanks a lot for those updates. Turning back in the green now, it's been very volatile morning today, and of course you have the big 2G verdict which is ahead of you, so you would expect some kind of volatility. Just keep an eye on a couple of stocks as well. Sun TV, I mean it's a bit of a political issue here in terms of what happens to Sun TV from here on. Today there's also that by the way, that assembly by-election in Tamil Nadu, the seat of Jayalalitha. So I mean, very volatile, that stock. This could be the stock to track for the rest of the day.
Well, markets at this point in time still holding on to the green terrain. Nothing much lost, actually. We are very much at yesterday's levels in any index, and the mid-cap continues with 1/3% in terms of gains. Now, let's look at NBFCs. They have been the flag bearers of the rally for the previous 18 months, though after the rise in bond yields lately, they've taken a bit of a backseat. Gold financiers are separately facing stress in terms of growth, we understand. George Alexander Muthoot, Managing Director, Muthoot Finance, joins us on the phone line. George, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. And before we start the conversation, a very happy Christmas to you and a New Year. Good of you to come here when festivities should be on at home.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, festivities are started in Kerala.
Yes. Are the festivities including more people taking gold loans? How is your AUM itself growing? We were given to understand that gold AUMs are not growing so much.
Yeah, but this quarter we have seen a little uptick in the AUM growth. The AUM growth has shown a little uptick. So this quarter, unlike the previous quarter, this quarter there should be some growth in the AUMs. So that is a positive sign for that. And added to that, we have now started a new scheme also. That is for the SME lending, small scale lending. We have started a new scheme at 12% diminishing rate of interest. So it is a collateralized loan with gold security, and it has actually given a lot of good response from the customers. So a loan at 12% with diminishing rate is something which any small-scale industry or small business or small traders will definitely look at, and it is for loans above 10 lakhs. We have seen a good uptick in that.
George, good morning. So I'm sure others will also introduce the same product if it's successful. What kind of numbers are you targeting from this product?
Definitely others may also introduce, but of course Muthoot has the first mover advantage, and I think we will be one of the few companies who can afford that rate also.
That's a fair point. What is the growth in AUM? Is it like 4%, 5%?
Around 4 to 5% should be the growth which we should see in this quarter.
Okay. Well, let's talk about spreads. Since you are talking about an SME loan at 12% and diminishing, your net interest margin had actually risen in the second quarter to about 16%. Where will it stand in the second half, you think?
So we would definitely like to keep the net interest margin at about 10 to 11% is what we should. That's a reasonable thing. And I think even if we give a small portion, we're not going to give all the loans at this 12%. We have a cap of 10% of the portfolio to go into this 12% scheme. So we can certainly afford that.
Okay. What about your asset quality? Last quarter, there was an issue with your gross NPAs. Maybe it was because of
the
new
asset
product.
quality has always continued to be good, and it will always be good. The gold is always there with us. So it is just that we give more time to the customers, and we had started a 6-month scheme also about a year back, and those NPAs, technical NPAs became NPA quite faster. So we have given some time to the customers. That is why you saw the higher NPA figure. So that does not at all translate to a loss asset, because all the NPAs which we saw last quarter has already been cleared. So whatever NPA will come in this quarter will be the new ones only.
Okay. Well, to be fair, from the past 2 or 3 quarters, your AUM growth has been declining. We saw a very good number in the 4th quarter last year, that is the Jan-March quarter of this calendar. Since then, there has been a decline. Is that temporary, or is this, we have to get used to a new normal in terms of growth of gold loan companies?
I don't think it is a new normal. I think it was mainly because of the economic factors and maybe the lack of demand, etc. But we see little increase in the lack of demand pushing up in this quarter, and we should see that demand continuing in the next quarter. So we should see some AUM growth in the gold loan finance sector in the next quarter. Having said that, our other subsidiaries are also doing well. The home finance this quarter has just crossed 1,000 crores, and we expect to reach 1,400 crores by the end of the year. That is a home finance, which is a 100% subsidiary of Muthoot Finance. Okay.
You had a couple of quarters of very high margins. Like I said, the previous quarter it was 16%, and you had even previously another 17% quarter. Now will the margins fall? Are you already seeing any impact on the cost of money because of rising bond yields?
No, the cost of money impact is minimal, I don't think, because of the rising cost. There is no impact on that. But what we saw at the 16% was just an aberration in the yield. I think normal yield for us is 10 to 11% NIM, and that I think we will be able to maintain.
Okay. All right, George, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for joining us a little ahead of Christmas and New Year. Have a great 2018 yourself and your family.
Thank you. Wish you also a very good Christmas.
Thank you so much, George. All right, we are still sticking with the NBFC theme. After all, Nigel has been getting you all the outperformers of 2017 in a row. As a sector, NBFC was quite clearly the outperforming sector. We also understand that there has been a pickup in the rural economy and growth for loans because of commercial vehicle sales improving. Cholamandalam Investment in particular is on our radar, as they have received approval to set up a home financing company as well. N. Srinivasan, Executive Vice Chairman and Managing Director of Cholamandalam Investment, has joined us. Mr. Srinivasan, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Give us some colour, sir, on how has the demand for loans been, both from your rural branches as well as from your CV borrowers, commercial vehicle borrowers.
So first, good morning to you. 2/3 of our branches are in rural areas, Tier 3, Tier 4 cities. And therefore, our growth has been quite uniform. And we have grown, actually, if you see, we've grown about 20%. So the demand continues to be robust, not only in H1. In October, actually, we had the festive season. And Q3, there is some visibility. I've already gone on record that we may be able to maintain the same level of growth what we did in H1 in H2. Q4 generally, is a very good quarter for the commercial vehicles. So overall growth continues to be good.
Okay. Mr. Srinivasan, good morning. If you could tell us the purpose for setting up this housing finance company?
See, we have been doing home loans for the last 4 years. We already have a portfolio of about 750 crores. And by end of the year, probably, we will touch portfolio size of about 1,000 crores. See, long want to be in this segment. I think home loans are better. Finance company, the regulatory requirements, and then the overall is actually more conducive to for this product to be done in a home finance company. So it has been there in our radar for quite some time. It's a question of timing. We wanted run this business for some time, understand it, and then build a little bit of size and then move on. So we have thought now we have taken approvals. We have taken the board to HFC.
Okay.
We'll have now apply to the National Housing Bank to get it registered. That happens. Then in all the home loans, what we do in this company, in the NBFC, and in the home finance company.
Okay. We're losing your voice in between. So what kind of numbers are you targeting from here? You said you tested water maybe. Now what kind of book are you targeting in home finance?
So right now our portfolio is about 750 crores, and almost the entire, maybe about 95% of it is in affordable housing. There are opportunities are big. While we have not really formulated a plan, and then I can't give you specific numbers. But since considering our base is low, and then we have a lot of advantages. We have about 800 branches today of the NBFC. So we can co-locate the new housing finance company will immediately have access to all these branches. They can co-locate. Then there is a large customer base in the NBFC itself or within the group. A lot of opportunities, and therefore, considering our relatively smaller base, we can target a very high level of growth.
If you can put some numbers to it, because your second quarter was very impressive, whether we looked at it year on year or quarter on quarter, and I guess now looking at it quarter on quarter will make a little more sense, because year ago numbers were obviously impacted by demonetization and other kinds of slowdown. What kind of an AUM do you think you may end the year at? Will it be closer to what, 38,000 crores, 40,000 crores?
So I can't give you that number because we don't generally give the specific numbers, but I can tell you that whatever you have grown in the first half, we'll be comfortably able to grow in the second half as well. And if you see last 4 years CAGR, our profit after tax have grown by about 29%. We have maintained that growth in the H1 as well. I'm confident of repeating this in the H2 as well.
No, your H1 was excellent. That is why I'm asking you this question. Even in terms of margins, you all did 9.5%. That's the last available number we have. Therefore, I'm asking you, can H2 maintain that pace of growth, H2 over H1?
See, normally, the H2 is better than H1 because for all NBFCs and also for us, I think I would say it's about 55-45. And currently, I think there are clear signs that the CV industry itself is looking up. I was in a construction equipment exhibition organized in Bangalore last week, and then everybody is gung-ho. I mean, you can see there was no space in such a large exhibition. There was so much of visitors, inquiries. Going by all that, I think I expect the growth in Q4 to be better than what we visualize, and we have positioned ourselves to take on growth. We have expanded our branches, and we have also done some technology interface whereby our turnaround times have come down. Should there be an opportunity for growth, we can comfortably ride the wave.
Okay. Well, that is very good to hear, Mr. Srinivasan. It was a pleasure having you with us. Have a great 2018 yourself, sir. All right, that's two NBFCs, and especially the second one telling us that they are absolutely gung-ho on, and what kind of growth, CV demand, that quite clearly is, a fuel for the economy itself. And so that's a very, very positive vibe. I think the anecdotal evidence he's giving us about the exhibition of construction equipment in Bangalore is also extremely telling.